Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, the High Guy Jacobs, and today we're taking a look at one of the two brand new heroes coming to the game. This is a brother-sister duo, the Light siblings. We've got Janet Light, who's the first one we're going to take a look at today, and let's take a look at what Neon Graffiti is bringing us. She's got a little bit of an an M5 or something like that, a little bit of a pistol out here, looks handmade like a drill. I don't know what kind of effect that's going to have. She's got some interesting grenades down below. Overall design, I mean, it's funky, it's fun, but like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Whatever. It's not any worse than Stella. It's not any worse than the other ones we've had. It's no worse than who else we have? Nora. You know what I mean? Like, I guess it's not that bad. But let's take a look at what her skills do, what her abilities do. We can give you kind of a justification, or at least a first look at who Janet Light, the Neon Graffiti, is bringing to the field. First and foremost, we're going to take a look at max level. We are looking at Paint Bomb being her Rage skill. Rage required 1,000, dealing damage to the target at 14,000 damage and reduces the target's skill damage by 15% for 3 seconds. If your squad size is less than 50%, additionally reduces the damage of target's AoE skills by 15%. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Very specific against... very specific against AoE type skill based heroes. And if you look at what's happening out of range, that makes sense, because lots of them have AoE skills, so that makes sense, especially if you're doing a little bit more damage, or a little bit, a reduction of those once you're getting a little bit hurt more, so that makes sense. 14,000 is good damage factor. If you look at some of the other new heroes that we had, I mean, we're looking at 13.5, so they're basically just stepping things up as we go. 14,000 being the new limit we're looking at there. 14,000. Okay. Next, we look at Frantic Graffiti. Here, she's going to enter the quote-unquote graffiti state for 5 seconds before the leader uses a rage skill. While in this state, each time skill damage is dealt, there's a 65% chance to deal additional damage to the current target for a factor of 250. For a factor of 800. And up to 2 other nearby targets for a factor of 1,200. This additional damage will not trigger Graffiti again, and the state will expire after being triggered 5 times. So you're only getting, which seems to me, what this seems to tell me is that you're only getting 5 times out of in one battle out of this effect, out of the whole Graffiti set. So this is an ability that is triggered specifically in short fights. Okay, so it's like the additional damage, if you're in long fights with her, this is only triggered 5 times. Right? So it's not like other people's AoE damage or other people's AoE skills where it's going to deal continuous. This looks like it's only going to deal it for 5 additional times. Okay? Before they use a rage skill. Next, we've got Rainbow Slide. We're going to increase the Rider Squad attack by 35% and travel speed by 20%. Good, more travel speed. Yeah, they all got travel speed, more attack. Fine, that's, you got to have those. 35% is good. Can't complain. Next, we've got Neon Shuttle. Rider Squad HP increases by 30%. When leading only Rider Squads, increases damage reduction by 10%. Damage reduction is pretty good. 10% is pretty strong. HP at 30% is pretty good. The problem I have here is that she's got really no defense so far. Okay? So far, she's got no defense. So, once you have her awakened, you're going to take her second skill, which, again, this kind of brings down her value to me, because it seems if this Graffiti only triggers 5 times, then that means that her awakening skill only triggers 5 times in a battle. Okay? So it takes it from a 65% chance to deal additional 800 to a guaranteed 100% chance to deal 800 and then 1,200 to 2 by targets. So she's obviously going to be way more powerful once she's awakened. But this can only be triggered 5 times, so I'm still kind of looking at it going, this doesn't make much sense to me. Okay? And again, she has no defense. It's all attack. And yes, there is some reduction in the target's skill damage, or the target's AoE damage or a 10% reduction in overall damage. But you see that in other heroes who also have defense. So she's not really bringing any defense to the field. And I think this is going to be one of the big letdowns for Janet in total. But this is going to wrap it for Janet Light. I mean, it's pretty simple. If we look at her abilities here, we're obviously looking at skills. So you'll be filling out the skills tree with her. Rider side, the general tree is kind of poo-poo buckets. No one really cares about that. But it's really kind of a simple-based character, and I'm not really excited about her. I don't see her play, like, granted, she's a bigger hero, so she's got higher rage, which means she's already going to be played for the damage anyways. But, like, I still think you're going to be seeing, you know, it'll still be, who is that? Daryl, for example. Felix, for example, you'll see a lot of still. Yeah, you'll see Janet, because obviously she still hits. But this to me, this second skill is kind of her biggest downfall. If this truly only triggers 5 times, right? If this damage only triggers 5 times, each time skill damage is dealt, there's a 100% chance to deal additional damage. Each time skill damage is dealt. So this will get both. So you're going to get twice. So I guess technically it triggers 10 times, which doesn't make it too bad. But that's still 10 times over, like, you know, 5 skills. So that's less than a minute, right? Especially with rage regen with some of these heroes, like that's less than a minute, or less than a minute. Well, we'll see. We'll see how the damage actually stacks. Either way, I'm not super excited about it. Hold on a second. Whenever skill damage is dealt. So technically speaking, give me a second here. Let me just do some thinking. Wait a second. I'm reading this entirely wrong, and now she's disgusting. You pair her with Felix. Or you pair her with her brother. And we'll go over her brother after, but you pair her with Felix. So here's how this, to me, how this all of a sudden is going to click in my head, and at which point she's disgusting. Okay? Especially when you have her transcended. She's going to be disgusting for damage. So you're going to enter Graffiti state for 5 seconds before the leader uses a rage skill. So while in this state, 4 or 5 seconds, each time skill damage is dealt, there's a 100% chance to deal 800 damage plus 1200 to additional targets, to 2 additional targets. Okay? Now, it's not going to deal Graffiti. This additional damage will not trigger Graffiti again because it's not... like, this won't trigger its own. But the state will expire after being triggered 5 times. So if you go look at Felix, for example. Basic attacks deal damage at a factor of 3100 each attack. So this basically means that each attack for 5 seconds, you're dealing skill damage, which is then going to stack this an additional 5 times with skill damage. Okay, so she's changed in my mind a little bit. Now, granted, she still doesn't have the defense that I would expect to see a little bit, because that's kind of what riders are missing a little bit of. But this does increase her value more in regards to what I was thinking before. And this is just, and again, this is speculation because we don't have them in actuality yet. This is just speculation. But she's going to hit hard. I'm changing my opinion. She's going to hit decently hard. So be careful of Janet Light. If you're a rider main, you're going to want Janet Light, especially if you have Felix. Like, it seems like Felix, Chasey, Janet, Rick. Sorry, Felix, yeah. Actually, I would probably go Felix, Janet in the field, and then you'll probably go, like, Rick, Chasey, or Chasey, Rick, once we go through Rick's stats. See, Rick is a bit of a different hero, and we're going to dive into him in the next video. Because it looks like they're trying to bring back something else. So we're going to leave a little bit of this, until next video. So I hope you watch the next one as well. But that's going to wrap it up for Janet Light. My opinion has changed at the end here. I think she's going to be great. Let's make sure to watch her in the coming weeks once she's released. Okay. Other than that, folks, thanks very much for tuning in. If you're liking what we're doing here, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, fill out the notification bell, and comment down below. These are 4 things that don't cost anything, but really, really help the algorithm push the channel to more viewers. So if you can do that, I'd be greatly appreciated. If you can, click the join button, become a member, help the channel out just a little bit more. Other than that, folks, love, peace, chicken grease, and until next time, stay lifted.